This is Monterey's Cookin Pisto Style, featuring restaurateur and master chef John Pisto.
Hi, John Pisto. This Monterey Cookin Pisto Style. You know, we've just came back from the market, talking with the friends. Always a pleasure to see the boys. Okay, we're staying with meat again, folks. Now look what we're gonna do here. Now, how many times have you gone to a restaurant and ordered rack of lamb? Right? Always very, very expensive. Definitely one of the favorites in our restaurant. People order it. In fact, we have it in all 4 restaurants. But the Whaling Station, we really sell a lot of it. That's more of our steakhouse, so to speak. We have a lot of prime meats using only prime and choice, the real stuff. This is the real stuff also. So look at it. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Now, let's take a look at this a little closer. Now, when you buy them like this is called Frenched, all right? What it means is the bones on the rib, if you look at it this way, you can see it's a little rib steak, right? Okay, this bone has been cleaned off, all right? This is so you can pick it up with your hand. Now, this has got some of the fat left on it. If you want to take some of it off, very easily, take a little bit more. You can take it down a little bit more if you want. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take one down and we'll leave the other one a little fattier, so we can see the difference, because the fat does cook up to make it nice and juicy, you know. Now these are very easy to cook once you know how to cook them. Not much to it, but this is fancy because, you know, there's one on each side of the lamb. You know, there's not a lot of it. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to rub it with a little bit of oil. This one anyway, and I'm saying just a little bit because we want to put some herbs on there. I'm going to cut this down a little bit too. This has got a little bit too much. I don't want that much fat on it. Now, your butcher can do that, but I'd rather cut it off myself so I can gauge it. See, you can feel it, it's in there. Okay, just cut it down. This is very, very, very simple to cook. Now, you remember that they call a crown roast? Now, crown roast, very fancy also. Okay. Now, if I was to get some string and tie this together and cook it, see, we used to put a coffee can in there and cook it that way, like this. This is called a crown roast. You put the whole thing in the oven, and then you fill this with vegetables, or you fill it with rice, or wild rice would be nice, and you serve it to the table like this with the little leggings on it. Makes very nice presentation too. Okay, but we're not going to do that today. Salt. Now I've got a cast iron pan that's been heated already. Okay, and we're just going to season this lightly because we're going to put the herbs on it after, and pat that in. I put a lot of pepper. Make sure you do both sides, very important. Okay, now all we want to do is brown these, all right? Because their actual cooking is going to be done in the oven. Now, if you want to be real fancy, what we're going to do is put some tin foil on the little pieces there, on the legs. So right now all I want to do is just brown it. Put it on high heat. You don't want to cook it. All we want to do is sear it, brown it, and that's it. Now, we're going to do something with this called ratatouille. Sounds like a machine gunner, doesn't it? But this is from south of France. The Italians make something like this. The Sicilians make something like this called a cavolonata. Very similar. Little different. Okay, brown it. Just brown it real good. And then we're going to do something a little different today. I'm going to put lentils with it, and I've got these baby green lentils. We're going to use that as our starch today. All right? Now, you don't have to use lentils. You can use potato. You can use whatever you like. But I like lentils. We're going to give it a try. Italians call it lenticchia, a staple. I know my mom used to cook it for my pop all the time. He loved it. It's a legume is what it is, like in the bean family. It has the same kind of nutrition, you know, very, very good for you. Okay. We just want to brown that. Give it both sides. All right. Now you should preheat your oven 400 because you want this to get nice and crusty. Now what I've done is I've got some demi-glaze here, okay, that we've made, and we've used other bones from lamb, and we made a nice rich sauce. Okay, I'm reducing that a little bit more. Okay, it's important that you get this very, very, very nice and brown. All right, let's give this another minute, and we'll check it again. Normally, it wouldn't be this smoky. Now I've got the fan off because I don't want to, I want you to hear me talking. Okay, this is only going to take about like 12, 13 minutes. So this isn't going to take long to cook. So let's leave it here. Let's get our other things going first, okay? Let's get the lentils going. What we'll need is some celery. And because these are so small, you see how tiny those guys are? Let's make everything to the same scale. Okay? We're going to chop that real fine because those lentils are very, very fine. Yep. But, okay, do a little bit of that. And we're going to use, instead of onion, I'm going to use some shallot, which is in the onion family. Maybe I'll use my other knife. I like this knife better. See? These are very handy. This is a good size. The other size is good for the restaurant. Okay, chop that up nicely. Let's give it a little bit more celery. You know, lentils are good just by themselves too, you know. Nice, makes a nice lunch. Very healthy for you. Like I said, it's a staple in our house. My mom loves to cook lentils. Of course, as kids, we never liked it, right? You have to wait till you get old to start liking these things. Then all of a sudden, boy, this is good food. It's funny how things work out that way. Let's give it a little garlic too. And just chop that up real fine. And we'll give it some carrot for color because it'll look nice in there. And we'll just chop that up. See? Now that's going to take about 10 or 15 minutes. Again, you know, my style of cooking is real quick. Pretty fancy stuff sometimes, but real easy to do. And only like to use the real fresh things. Don't like to use frozen items. Only fresh. And you know, this time of the year, everything's starting to come around beautifully. Okay, I'm getting a little sloppy here because I'm going too fast. Okay. So let's put this in our frying pan. Get it going. I'm going to put a little olive oil from Shabika. Nick makes beautiful product, folks. I tell you, if you like good stuff, you ought to give his things a try. He's one of our sponsors. Does beautiful stuff. Okay, let's bring this to let's make it fry, and then we'll check it in about 5-6 minutes. Okay. Okay. See, we've got this cooked nice, soft. Let's put these in. Look at that. Look like buckshot. He's got nice texture to him. Nice flavor. Put in half a box. You know, I'm eyeballing this. I'm gonna lower the heat. And now we put some stock in there. This is. And I'm just using a little bit of the veal stock that we had from before. I just put a little bit in there. Put some salt now and some pepper, and we'll put the lid on it and we'll let this cook. A little salt, a little pepper, and then we may have to, from time to time, just check it to make sure it has enough. We'll put this on a burner over here. We'll check that in a few minutes. And let's go on to our next one. Okay, now we've washed all these things, of course. All right. So let's do the ratatouille. And what I'm going to do is use the outside of the eggplant and not the core. Okay. See? Use this for something else. Put that in the soup or whatever. And why I'm doing this is because I don't want all that pulp in there. I want the vegetables to have more of identity. I mean, that'll be used in a soup beautifully. Well, you know what? You can boil that with some garlic and olive oil. And I tell you, it's very delicious. It's almost like a stew, you know? You see how I'm doing this? See, we're cutting like this, like this, like this, like this. Okay, get our fire going. It's on. Okay. This is a nice dish. Sicilians absolutely eat eggplant like you won't believe. One of their favorite vegetables. Of course, I think coming from Turkey by way of Arabia. Okay, here we go. Same thing with the zucchini. Save this for soup. Now, remember to wash vegetables. This almost looks like a cucumber. Okay, cut that, square it off. Want everything to look nice. Okay. All right, let's put some shallot in. We're going to cut that rather large. Got the heat going. Put a little bit of this nice olive oil. So now this is a very we're gonna improvise a little bit. In that right now this is asparagus season. So I'm going to put some asparagus in there too, and I better be careful. I'm going to run out of room on my frying pan. Okay, but small. We'll cut them on a bias to make it more interesting. Okay. Okay, here we go. Into the fire. Okay. This is going to take a few minutes. Now, if this was capolinata, the Sicilian dish with almost the same ingredients, the main difference here would be that each item would be cooked separately. Okay, you fry each one separately, you take it out, then you fry the next one. Then you bind it all together with the sauce. We're going to do a little different. Okay, some garlic, of course. Let's put some garlic in, and let's get these olives ready to go. Okay, just take these olives out. We're gonna put both black and green olive. Don't use the standard American olive. Use the ones with flavor, like the Kalamata, any type of green olive. You can use the oil cured, the dried olive. Sometimes it holds a little bit there. You gotta have that, and you gotta have caper in there too, but we'll get that in a minute. Okay, see? I've already crushed these. Careful when you do these, you take the seeds out. Nothing worse than biting into an olive with the pit. Good way to lose a tooth. And to have some very mad guests. Seen it done before. Of course, one of my closest friends is a dentist. To him is business. Okay, let's give this a few more minutes and we'll be back. What I've done here is gotten a whole bunch of fresh herbs, 4 and 5 different varieties, and I've mixed it with olive oil and garlic, and this is going to go in the oven now. We're going to finish it. Okay, spread that on real good, and it's got a little bit of olive oil in it. I got thyme, I got rosemary, I got fresh oregano, summer savory, whatever you can find. Parsley and garlic would be fine too. Just use your own combination, all right? Let's put that in the oven.
How many degrees for that?
And this is gonna be at 400 degrees. It's gonna be at 400 degrees for probably about 8 to 12 minutes, depends how you like it. Okay, this is working. Now, I got the black olives, the green olives been pitted. These are capers. Let's toss that. Okay, the vegetables are cooked. We want them al dente. Let's check these guys out. Now, we've added to this a couple of times. We just keep checking it. Keep adding liquid to it until it's cooked. It's not cooked yet. This takes a real 15 minutes to do it. If it needs more liquid, you add it. Okay. And okay, as soon as these vegetables are cooked, now you want them al dente. I'm adding tomato sauce. This is puree. Okay. You add that. All right. Just blend it in. Lower that heat a little bit, folks. Then the secret ingredient is a little bit of balsamic vinegar. Salt is, I know it's going to need. We're going to give it a little hot pepper. And all we're going to do is let this cook for a few minutes, let it marry. And we're going to be ready to put this dish together when we come back. Okay, folks, look at this. Let's put this together. We got the lamb out. The lentils are done. Let's do a little presentation here. How nice these look. See, these are different than the other lentils. These are smaller. Okay, do that. Now let's get this lamb out. And we'll cut through. Got it nice and rare. Now a little medium rare. I'll do a little bit like that. See how nice that looks? Now I like my lamb rare personally. Some people like it a little less cooked. But this is the way we're gonna do it. Okay, see this? Nice, nice. All right, let's get all this sauce, kind of put it here. Okay, now we got our other vegetable, which I'm gonna put some here and some here, like this. And then one more thing, we got our sauce. This has been that reduced, which I will dribble over everything. Okay, and to finish it off, we're gonna put some of these nice fresh herbs. Just
What is that?
These are nice fresh sage leaves, and I've got some of this beautiful thyme. Okay, and maybe a couple of chives. I think that looks pretty festive, don't you? So we made this a little festive, a little on the fancy side, but it's really simple food. You just put it together. It looks beautiful. You'll enjoy it. Nice Sunday dinner.